Parker here. Good morning, happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
It's, things are getting better every week. It's very exciting that we have moved into the orange tier, as we talked about before. And of course, you have lots of openings that are happening this week.
That's right.
So I'm sure everybody just can't wait to get going.
Yeah, we're real excited about the fact that, we talked about it last week and get the message out and starting the reservation process for events happening today and going through this week. And then we'll open a couple additional ones next week.
Okay.
So it's exciting time. It's a stressful time as well because we want to make sure that we do it right and do it safely.
Right.
And so, but we're looking forward to getting more amenities open every week we can go. And hopefully we'll continue to gravitate towards the next level, which is the yellow level. Also, although over the weekend we saw a little spike in the numbers, so that's why people still have to be cognizant of, wearing your mask and going getting vaccinated if you can now, because most people over 50 are eligible, so you can go do that. So go get vaccinated if you can, and that'll really help. And then on April 15th. Anybody 16 and over can get in line and get registered to get vaccinated. So it's all about how many vaccinations are going to be available. We realize that, but boy, go get registered if you're interested in getting the shot. You mentioned them earlier. Great opportunity, especially with Rite Aid real close here, CVS real close. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting how things have progressed. Each week we've got new information of where you can get the vaccine, and just more and more are on board, which I have to say that I think it's really great that Memorial Care, was so instrumental in helping everyone here get vaccinated. And then every time I talk to Lisa Bartlett or our Assemblywoman, there's so many different things that they're doing to help make sure. And I feel like California, believe it or not, is way ahead than some of the other states.
Definitely in the vaccination area.
Yeah.
We've really stepped it up, and I think Orange County's done a great job. They've opened up more pods to do it. And then the Orange County Health, along with Memorial Care, working with us to be able to do our vaccination clinics here. That was such a great kickoff in the sense of this process and being able to address our needs, which is the 55 and over community, but really the 65 and over community, getting all of those people vaccinated basically. Just a fantastic job, and all the volunteers and everybody that participated. We are looking at potentially down the road of a, what we'll call a makeup one, which is the last people in the village that maybe haven't gotten a vaccine. Don't know yet because we're trying to line up vaccination information from Memorial Care and everything, but we'll come on and let you know if we're going to be able to do that. In the meantime, highly recommend people go through the sources that you already provided and get your vaccine that way, because it'll just be quicker in the process.
The village makes up a very large percentage of the city of Laguna Woods, so to be able to have vaccinated 9,000 really should be helping quite a bit, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say that we are probably over 80% of the village itself is vaccinated now. I'm pretty confident with that number based on not only what we did, but what we know in the amount of people that we were scheduled. Our last clinic was kind of a makeup clinic to get people. And we had about 50% of those people ended up canceling their appointments because they'd already received the vaccination. So that's a great trend relative to looking at the overall village. Now it's really addressing the 55 to 60-year-olds that may not have been in that loop at the beginning, whether or not we can address that. But now that they're eligible to go to all the other county facilities and Rite Aid and CVS and all those, it's just, like I said, it's going to be quicker for them to go that route, although we are looking at the potential.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at some of our numbers right now.
Sure. So in our case, as per 100,000, we're at 2.8. That's basically the same. We did have a bump up in numbers. We went up to 248 positive cases over the weekend. Now that's I think a culmination of the whole weekend, not necessarily one day. Where we were as you recall, we had dropped down to 89, I think it was. So that's a little bit of bump. That's obviously a little scary. But as you can see, we're at 2.8 and 2.6 are clearly in the orange category, and the test positive rate, 1.7, is actually in the yellow. So again, we want to see those other two drop down into yellow category. Probably 3 to 4 week time frame is what we're shooting for. And you have to be in this category for 3 weeks unless there's a lot more vaccinations out there. So this is all, it's still good news. With regards to hospitalizations, that's still rolling in the right direction. Gone down to 109 total hospitalizations.
Yeah,
and that
that's
includes
a
the
lot
23 that are ICUs. So that's a real low hospitalization rate for Orange County, given the number of hospitals that we have and the coverage. So that's really great news with regards to the COVID's having less of an impact, and then everybody else is having access that they need for any other services that they need to go to the hospital. So there's all kinds of positives going on right now with regards to this.
Well, I also, we've talked to many doctors and hospitals here locally over the last couple of weeks, and one thing that they do mention is that they're really getting a good handle on how to treat people with the coronavirus, not necessarily the actual disease of COVID-19, but the actual virus itself. So they're eliminating having people have to go back to the hospital or go into ICU, which is really great news.
Yeah, I think that's, having more knowledge about it, they've been able, like you said, they've been able to catch things sooner. They've been able to say, hey, we need to get this kind of treatment to the person.
Right.
This one needs more of this, more of that. But it's moved in the right direction, and I really in the last 3 weeks we've progressed pretty quickly.
Exactly.
So hopefully we don't see any major spikes because of Easter gatherings or spring breaks, and I think you can see that people are traveling more. They are. I heard on the news this morning that the highest amount of travel occurred over the Easter weekend since March of last year. So, nice warm weather, more things to do. People are getting out there. They feel like they're safer, which they are. So the CDC, as we mentioned last week, CDC upgraded their level of travel that you can do. So it's all good.
Right.
I wanted to mention that we last week we talked about the Clubhouse 4 and some of the activities. So on the chart there, you can see we're really segregating it off into morning and afternoon activities. Our capacity over there on the right shows that we have limited capacity, obviously, so we're asking people to go on ActiveNet. You can do that through our website and then get registered on ActiveNet. Once you're registered, it's a lot easier to go through it. There's also a training video on how to get registered on that. So we're looking forward to getting this going today. Obviously, we'll see how it goes and the activity level, and then such as the ceramics and a couple other ones will be starting in April 12th. And then activities such as like at the library isn't open yet. We're still working on getting plexiglass and our operations set. As soon as we have that ready to go, then the library can look at reopening too in limited capacity.
It's great. I mean, we're just happy that things are opening and we're able to participate and see our friends and that kind of thing. So wonderful. Well, thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
You bet. And stay tuned for more. Hopefully.
Stay tuned for more. Absolutely. Just like I say. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have OC Eye Care. So stay tuned.